Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders have officially claimed veteran defensive tackle Tuttle off waivers, a move that underscores the ongoing turbulence within a franchise that has struggled mightily throughout the 2025 season. After a disheartening loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 16, which dropped their record to 4 wins and 11 losses, the Commanders find themselves in a position where every roster move carries weight, both in terms of performance and morale. The Eagles secured the NFC East for the second consecutive year, and while a late touchdown followed by a 2-point conversion made the final score appear closer than it truly was, the reality is that Washington has been dealing with setbacks that extend far beyond a single game. Injuries have plagued the roster, affecting both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball, with star quarterback Jayden Daniels already sidelined for the remainder of the year. Backup quarterback Marcus Mariota has not escaped unscathed either, entering the final weeks of the season dealing with his own set of physical challenges. Despite the mounting losses and ongoing injury concerns, the Commanders are not entirely out of the picture as they approach the final 2 divisional matchups, and the acquisition of Tuttle is clearly aimed at shoring up the defensive line at a critical time. In Saturday's loss to the Eagles, Washington allowed a staggering 207 rushing yards, exposing vulnerabilities at the heart of the defensive front. Eddie Goldman, a key interior presence, has yet to return from a concussion, while Darren Payne's status remains uncertain as he contends with a nagging back ailment. In this context, the addition of Tuttle provides much-needed depth and flexibility, giving defensive coordinator an additional option to rotate along the interior line. Tuttle's arrival signals a recognition that the Commanders cannot afford further erosion in the trenches, particularly against divisional opponents like the Dallas Cowboys, who they will face in Week 17 on Christmas Day. While both teams are already eliminated from playoff contention, the stakes for Washington are more about pride, evaluating talent, and preparing for the offseason than about securing a postseason berth. Tuttle's journey to the Commanders is emblematic of the uncertain and often unpredictable nature of NFL careers. He entered the league in 2019 as an undrafted free agent with the New Orleans Saints, carving out a role as a rotational defensive lineman through persistence and versatility. His path then took him to the Carolina Panthers, where he secured a 3-year contract valued at $19,500,000 prior to the 2023 season. Despite the promise of a stable role, the Panthers made the decision to release Tuttle during training camp in 2025, highlighting the harsh realities of roster management in the modern NFL, where even proven veterans can find themselves in a state of constant uncertainty. Following his release from Carolina, Tuttle found a temporary home with the Tennessee Titans, appearing in 10 games and starting only once. His statistical output was modest, totaling 11 tackles, 6 of which were solo efforts, but his value lies in his ability to provide depth and experience on the interior line, something the Commanders are clearly prioritizing as they navigate a depleted defensive front. The timing of Tuttle's acquisition is particularly interesting, as it coincides with a period of pronounced instability for Washington. The Commanders' defensive struggles have been a recurring theme throughout the season, with the team consistently giving up significant yardage on the ground. The match against the Eagles is just the latest example, as 207 rushing yards were allowed, reflecting a deficiency that goes beyond individual injuries and into schematic and personnel concerns. With Goldman sidelined and Payne questionable, the need for reinforcement along the defensive line has become urgent. Tuttle brings both versatility and a veteran presence, capable of rotating in to provide relief, while also mentoring younger players who are attempting to navigate their first full NFL campaigns amid a backdrop of losses and inconsistent performance. His claim off waivers is therefore not merely a transactional move, but a strategic decision, reflecting a recognition by the front office that defensive line depth is essential even in a season where playoff ambitions have faded. The human element of Tuttle's journey is also significant, as it underscores the resilience and determination required to sustain an NFL career amid constant upheaval. Going undrafted, navigating releases, and transitioning between teams while maintaining readiness requires both mental fortitude and professional dedication. For younger Commanders players, having a veteran like Tuttle in the locker room provides a model of persistence and adaptability, demonstrating that contributions can come in many forms beyond starting roles or high statistical output. This mentorship component is particularly relevant for a team attempting to integrate younger talent while balancing the challenges of a disappointing season. The psychological boost of adding a veteran presence, even amid a record that reflects ongoing struggles, should not be underestimated in terms of team culture and morale. Finally, the acquisition of Shy Tuttle represents a pragmatic acknowledgement by the Commanders that the 2025 season, while disappointing, is not yet concluded. There remains value in remaining competitive, evaluating talent, and sending the message that the organization is committed to fielding a capable team even under challenging circumstances. With games remaining against divisional rivals, the opportunity to implement adjustments, test new rotations, and give players like Tuttle a chance to contribute meaningfully provides both immediate tactical benefits and long-term insights into roster construction. For fans, it is a reminder that even in a season marked by setbacks, the pursuit of improvement and the cultivation of depth remains central to the team's mission. In this context, Tuttle's arrival is more than a mere waiver claim. It is a calculated step toward shoring up weaknesses, stabilizing the defensive line, and preparing the Commanders to finish 2025 with as much resilience and competitiveness as possible. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. In what can only be described as one of the most electrifying and unexpected moves of the offseason, rumors have erupted across the league regarding Chase Young's potential return to Washington, this time in a whirlwind, lightning-quick trade that has left fans, analysts, and rival teams absolutely stunned. The whispers began subtly, barely audible in the corridors of sports media, but as the hours passed, the intensity grew, and soon it became impossible to ignore. Chase Young, the young defensive phenom whose name alone strikes fear into the hearts of quarterbacks across the league, might be back where it all began, donning the familiar burgundy and gold once again. The mere suggestion has ignited a firestorm of speculation, with fans poring over past performances, imagining the seismic impact his presence could have on Washington's defensive front, and analysts debating what this could mean for the team's broader strategy. The air is thick with anticipation, the kind that precedes something monumental, and the question on everyone's lips is whether this move signals a new era or a high-risk gamble. For those who have followed Young's career from his explosive rookie season, the idea of him returning to Washington is tantalizing. It's a story that practically writes itself. A homecoming, a chance at redemption, and the opportunity to prove that his early promise can blossom into a legacy of dominance. But as with any rumor of this magnitude, the details are scarce, and the lack of official confirmation only serves to heighten the drama. Speculation suggests that the trade was executed with astonishing speed, a so-called lightning trade that caught many by surprise, leaving general managers scrambling to understand how Washington maneuvered so deftly. There are murmurs that the deal involved a combination of draft picks and a player to be named later, the exact configuration cloaked in secrecy, fueling endless theories among fans and media alike. Every angle is being dissected, every implication weighed, as the league collectively holds its breath to see how the dominoes will fall. Chase Young's skill set makes him a game-changer in any scenario. His combination of speed, power, and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks has always made him a nightmare for offensive lines, and his presence on the roster would instantly elevate Washington's defensive capabilities. Analysts are already speculating on how this could reshape the team's defensive scheme, potentially allowing for more aggressive blitz packages and a shift toward a more dominant front seven. The whispers in the media suggest that Young's return could also have a ripple effect on the locker room, inspiring younger players while simultaneously putting pressure on veterans to elevate their performance. There is a sense that Washington is attempting to send a bold statement to the rest of the league. that they are willing to make daring moves to compete at the highest level, and that no price is too steep when it comes to acquiring elite talent. The psychological impact on opponents cannot be understated. A dominant edge rusher can alter an entire game plan, forcing quarterbacks to adjust their reads and coaches to reconsider their strategies. Of course, not everyone is convinced that this move is without risk. The speculation is rife with questions about Young's health and past injuries, his ability to sustain peak performance, and whether the team's defensive scheme will maximize his unique talents. Some insiders hint that Washington's coaching staff has been carefully studying every facet of Young's play style, from his explosive first step to his ability to disengage from blockers, as part of an effort to ensure that his return is not just a headline-grabbing stunt, but a calculated step toward genuine on-field improvement. The narrative is tantalizing. A player returning to the scene of his earliest triumphs, armed with experience, maturity, and a renewed sense of purpose, yet carrying the weight of expectation that comes with such a high-profile acquisition. Fans are projecting, imagining game-changing sacks, highlight reel tackles, and the electrifying energy he could bring to every snap. The social media landscape is ablaze with speculation. Hashtags, memes, and speculative posts flood the timelines of fans and commentators alike, each one more dramatic than the last. Some argue that this trade could be the catalyst for a resurgence in Washington's overall performance, a turning point that could redefine their position in the league for years to come. Others caution that the volatility of such a move carries the potential for disappointment if the pieces do not fit as perfectly as the front office hopes. Yet even skeptics cannot deny the intrigue. The drama of a lightning-fast trade involving a player of Young's caliber is exactly the kind of storyline that captures the imagination of the football world, sparking debates in living rooms, sports bars, and online forums. The very idea that a player of his talent might suddenly be available to change the fortunes of a team so quickly is almost cinematic in its audacity, and the speculation alone has become a spectacle in itself. Further adding to the mystique is the timing of the trade, which appears to have been executed with strategic precision. Analysts are drawing connections between Washington's current roster composition, their defensive weaknesses, and the potential for Young's skill set to fill critical gaps. Some insiders suggest that this move could be part of a larger, multi-step plan, one designed not merely to acquire a single star player, but to reshape the team's identity and signal an intent to dominate both now and in the seasons to come. The ripple effects on rival teams are being felt even before the trade has been officially confirmed. Front offices across the league are reportedly revisiting their own strategies, considering how to respond to Washington's aggressive maneuvering and how to adjust in anticipation of facing a revitalized defensive line led by Young's unparalleled talent. Meanwhile, fan reaction has been nothing short of explosive. Social media platforms are alive with a mix of elation, skepticism, and pure speculation as supporters debate the potential lineup, the defensive strategies, and the psychological impact of Young's presence on the field. Merchandise sales are rumored to be spiking, with jerseys and memorabilia already flying off virtual shelves in anticipation of an official announcement. The narrative writes itself. A hometown hero returns, armed with the skills, experience, and motivation to take the team to new heights, and fans are ready to embrace the story, painting vivid pictures of game-changing plays, monumental victories, and the electrifying atmosphere that only a player of Young's caliber can bring. Every analyst has a theory, every fan has a vision, and the speculation continues to grow, layer upon layer, feeding a collective anticipation that feels almost tangible. In the midst of all this, one fact remains clear. If the whispers are true, Washington has pulled off a move that could redefine their defensive identity and alter the balance of power within the league. Chase Young's potential return is more than a headline. It is a narrative charged with promise, risk, and the thrill of uncertainty. The drama, speculation, and excitement surrounding this trade are a reminder of why fans love the game, why analysts dissect every move with such intensity, and why a single player can ignite the imagination of millions. As the hours turn into days and the speculation reaches a fever pitch, one thing is certain. Everyone will be watching, everyone will be talking, and the story of Chase Young's rumored return to Washington will dominate conversations, online and off, as the league braces for what could be one of the most exhilarating chapters in recent football history. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.